Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the film My Old Ass, written and directed by Megan Park. This is her sophomore film. She first did The Fallout starring Jenna Ortega back in 2020, I think. Solid film. I really enjoyed that one, so I was excited to check this one out, especially when I saw it was going to be almost sci-fi oriented in that we have the older version of our main character essentially traveling back in time to speak to her younger self. To give you a better idea of the setup, Maisie Stella stars as Elliot, an 18-year-old who, to celebrate her birthday, goes out into the forest with a couple of friends, trips on mushrooms, and during her trip encounters her older self, and her older self has some advice for her. This is a concept that we've seen many times before, but usually we follow it from the perspective of the older version traveling back in time to interact with their younger self, whereas in this version we're actually focusing on the younger version of Elliot. Now, the rules as to how these two are able to communicate, if the older version is even real or just a figment of her imagination, it's never truly explained. There are elements that suggest it could go either direction, depending on how you interpret it. This isn't like Freaky Friday, where the bizarre phenomenon that goes on is eventually explained. And while this movie does have a lot of humor in it, it's much more so a coming-of-age drama. I didn't really watch any trailers or anything, so I didn't quite know exactly what to expect, but I know from Megan Park's first film that it would probably have a great deal of pathos in it, which it does. And if you're gonna watch this, don't go in expecting the Aubrey Plaza show. She's definitely in it. She has a significant role in certain scenes, but a lot of the film is just Elliot communicating with her via text message or phone call. Aubrey Plaza is not the star of this film, so just don't go in expecting that. She's great in the scenes that she's in, but it's Maisie Stella who absolutely steals the show here. I think she has a great future in acting because this is an incredible performance from an actress that I have never seen before. And I'm glad that this movie doesn't paint things in black and white. They could have so easily made it all about her learning lessons from her older self. And while there is some of that, and she does bring some advice to her younger self about living in the moment and appreciating the smaller moments with her family because she's about to move away for college. And if you ever did that, if when you turned 18 you moved out of your family home to go to college or trade school or whatever else it may be, and maybe your parents then sold your childhood home or moved or something of that sort, and you ever get nostalgic for that feeling, there will be a moment in this movie where you will definitely get hit in the feels. That moment did take a while to hit me because I think the beginning of this film is a bit slow, and I was worried it was just going to be three young girls tripping on shrooms for an hour and 20 minutes, and that's not really what I wanted to watch. Thankfully, it does eventually become a lot more deep than that. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but back to what I was trying to say is that in addition to Aubrey Plaza's character, the older version, bringing a lot of advice to the younger Elliot, she also has some things to learn from the younger version because not all of her advice is perfectly sound. And ultimately, even if she will go on to make some mistakes, it's up to the young Elliot to decide what she wants to do. The message here, at least to some extent, is definitely to live in the moment, to appreciate the things that you have, because one day you'll look back on this time and wish that you appreciated them more. And that's like the most ultra familiar message you can possibly have, but it was effective. I think another key takeaway is to embrace change in your life and don't ever listen to anyone else over your own gut. Listen to your present self and your present self only. If you're young and stupid and you want to continue to be young and stupid, then do that because you won't always be that way forever. I like the way this movie explores the fact that your goals, your lifestyle, all of these things can change throughout life. It's also thought-provoking because it makes you sit back and think, if I could speak to my older self in like 20, 30 years and learn about all of the mistakes and successes that I've had, would I even want to do that? For me, the answer is a clear no, but I'd be curious to know what you guys think in the comments. Other than the main gimmick here, there isn't a ton that's completely original. There's a romance subplot that I thought was pretty solid, but nothing special. All around, it's just a very solid screenplay that I think takes a while to take off, but once it did, I was fully engaged. I got emotional at one point in the film, so I would say it succeeds in that regard. It's not a must-see in theaters, but it's very solid, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what Megan Park does next because she's 2 for 2 in my eyes. I'm gonna give My Old Ass 3.5 stars. As always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's make this one fun. Drop down in the comments and let me know if you could talk to your older self and you could only ask them one question, what would that question be? Stay tuned for more videos. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.